Hello grade 9 students. This time we're going to discuss all about radicals. So in this lesson we will learn how to simplify radicals, add and subtract radicals, multiply and divide radicals. So let us first have a review. What is the square root of a number? If b squared is equal to a, then b is the square root of a. So in symbol, okay, we have here a radical sign. For example, square root of 9 is equal to 3. That is what we call the positive square root. How about the negative square root? Okay, negative square root can be written like this. Negative, then the radical sign. Example, negative square root of 9 is equal to negative 3. The positive and negative square roots. Okay, we have here positive negative radical sign. Example, positive negative square root of 9 is equal to positive negative 3. Finding a root of a number is the inverse operation of raising a number to a power. If we have here nth root of a, we have here the radical sign. A is the radicand, n is what we call the index. Okay, this symbol is the radical or the radical sign. It's called radical, simply radical or radical sign. And the expression under the radical sign is what we call the radicand. Okay, and the index defines the root to be taken. So we have here some terminologies. Square root, one of the two equal factors of a given number. The radicand is like the area of a square, and the simplified answer is the length of the side of the squares. Another terminology, principal square root, the positive square root of a number. The principal square root of 9 is 3. Okay, we say principal, it's the positive square root of a number. How about a negative square root? Negative square root is the negative square root of 9 is negative 3, and is shown like, yes, the negative square root of 9 is negative 3. So because the square root of 9, the result can be positive or negative, so can be positive or negative square root. Now radical, the symbol here which is read as the square root of a, is called a radical. Okay, in the previous example, square root of a yun. Now radicand, the number of or expression inside the radical symbol. 3 is the radicand. Perfect square, a number that is square, that is the square of an integer. Okay, if you square 1, 1, square 2, 4, square 3, 9, square 4, 16, square 5, 25, square 6, 36, etc. So 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and so on are what we call perfect squares. So yun, square root of 9 is equal to 3. Negative square root of 9 is equal to negative 3. Yan ang tinatawag na negative square root. Ito naman ang principal square root. Tapos dito, yun, radicand, 3 is what we call the radicand. Right. Square root of any positive number has two roots. One is positive and the other is negative. If a is positive number, then square root of a is the positive or the principal square root of a. And negative square root of a is the negative square root of a. Examples, square root of 100, 10. Negative square root of 36, negative 6. Square root of 1, 1. Negative square root of 0.81, negative 0.9. Square root of 25 over 49 is 5 over 7. Square root of negative 9, non-real number. So if the radicand is negative, then its square root is non-real number, or what we call imaginary number. Okay, because we do not have a square root of a negative number, only positive number. But if the negative sign is outside the radical, then it can be. What does the following symbol represent? Okay, this symbol represents the positive or principal root of a number. What is the radicand of the expression fourth root of 5xy? 5xy is the radicand. Yes, inside the the coefficient, or I mean the variable inside the number or variable inside the radical sign, is what we call the radicand, 5xy. What does the following symbol represent? Symbol represents the negative root of a number. What is the index of the expression cube root of 5x squared y to the fifth? 3. Yun. This is the index, radicand. What numbers are perfect squares? 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 2, 4. 3 times 3, 9. 4 times 4, 16. 5 times 5, 25. 6 times 6, 36. And so on and so forth. If we multiply 7 by itself, 49. 8 times 8, 64. 9 times 9, 81. 10 times 10, 100. 11 times 11, 121. 12 times 12, 144. So these numbers are what we call perfect squares. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144. So these are examples of perfect squares. Okay, when we square the numbers from 1 to 20, 1 to 20 until 25. Square root, 25 times 25 is 625. Okay, so these numbers are what we call perfect squares. Now let us simplify. This is just a piece of cake. What is the square root of 4? 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. What is the square root of 16? 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. Square root of 25, 5. Square root of 110. Square root of 144 is 12. Okay, it's just a piece of cake. Now let us go to the next, simplifying radicals. So in simplifying radical expressions, we must take note of this property. It's called the product property for radicals. Here it says that square root of AB is equal to square root of A times square root of B. Example, square root of 36 can be factored. Think of the factors of 36. We have 4 times 9. Okay, by the product property for radicals, square root of 4 times 9 can be written as square root of 4 times square root of 9. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. 6 is equal to 6. Diba? So therefore square root of 36 is 6. 2 times 3. How about square root of 100? Let us try to factor 100. 4 times 25. Square root of 100 is 10. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 25 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, so square root of 100 is 10. Square root of 36 is 6. So by product property for radicals, if we have square root of 50, we're going to factor 50 such that one of its factors is a perfect square if necessary. So pag square root of 50 is equal to square root of 25 times square root of 2. And what is square root of 25? This is 5 times 2, right? So 5 square root of 2. Square root of 25, 5. So square root of 50 can be written as 5 square root of 2. So a radical has been simplified when its radicand contains no perfect square factors. Test to see if it can be divided by 4, 9, then 25, then 49. Yung mga perfect square. Okay. Sometimes factoring the radicand using the 3 is helpful. So pag sa square root of 50, factorin natin yan such that one of its factors must be perfect square. 25 times 2 is 50. And what is the square root of 25? 5 square root of 2. And how about this? Square root of x to the 14th power is equal to x to the 7th power. Where did we get 7? Since the index is 2, we just divide 14 by 2, which is 7. Yung shortcut. Okay. Let us simplify the following. Let us try to factor the following. To simplify the radicals, we're going to factor it by using a perfect square factor times another factor. So what is the perfect square factor for 8? We have 4, other factor is 2. So therefore the answer is 2 square root of 2, because square root of 4 is 2. How about 20? 4 times 5, Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 5. Yun. Now, in square root of 32, think of the factors of 32 in which one of its factor must be a perfect square factor. 16 times 2, correct? So that square root of 16 is 4 square root of 2. Yung other factor cannot be simplified anymore, kaya nandun pa rin siya sa inside the radical sign. So radicand pa rin siya. Next, square root of 75, we have 25 times 3. So always just think one of its factors must be a perfect square factor. 25 times 3, so what is square root of 25? 5 square root of 3. How about 40? 4 times 10 naman. So 2 is square root of 10. Okay? Did you get it? So another, simplify. Square root of 48. We have 16 times 3. 16 times 3 is 48. And 16 is a perfect square factor. So that its answer is 4 square root of 3. How about square root of 80? 16 times 5 naman yan. So that the answer is 4 square root of 5. Square root of 15. We already answered that a while back. 25 times 2. So the answer is 5 square root of 2. How about square root of 125? What are the perfect square factor and other factor? 25 times 5. So as you can see, perfect square factor, meron pa rin 16, 16, 25, 25. So for square root of 125, 5 square root of 5. How about square root of 450? 225 times 2. Because 225 is a perfect square factor, wherein its square root is 15. So the answer is 15 square root of 2. Right? So steps to simplify radicals. Try to divide the radicand into perfect square for numbers. If there is an exponent, make it even by using the rules of exponent. Separate the factors to its own square root and simplify. Simplify x to the 12th power. The answer is, okay, this can be written as x to the 6 squared. Square root of x to the 6 squared. So since the index is 2 and the exponent is 2, we can now cancel. So x to the 6. Or simply, just divide 12 by the index 2. So x to the 6. So in the final answer, wala na yung radical sign. So square root of a variable to an even power is equal to the variable to 1/2 the power. So 1/2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, we'll take the 1/2 of 88 again because the index is 2. 88 divided by 2 is yun, y to the 44th power. If the exponent is even in the radicand, we're going to factor it. X to the 12, x to the 1, or just simply x. So 12 divided by 2 is x to the 6. X to the 6 times the square root of x. That's the answer. 50y to the 7th, factor 50, and also y to the 7th, y to the 6 times y yan. Yung 50, 25 times 2. Yun, 25y to the 6 times square root of 2y is equal to 50y to the 7. So we can now simplify this part. 5y cubed square root of 2y is the answer. Okay, let us simplify square root of 72. What's your answer? Okay, we have here the 4 choices. 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think is the answer for square root of 72? If you simplify it, what do you think is the answer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the correct answer is 3, 6 square root of 2. Okay, where did we get 6 square root of 2? Because 72 has factors 36 times 2. Okay, and what is the square root of 36? 6 square root of 2. How about this? 9 square root of 9x to the 36. Okay, what's the square root of 9? 3. What is the square root of x to the 36? 36 divided by 2, 18. So 3x to the 18. What do you think is the answer? Number 2. Yes, 3x to the 18. Okay, let us now proceed to the next. Combining radicals. So to combine radicals, combine the coefficients of like radicals. Okay, let us simplify each expression. 6 square root of 7 plus 5 square root of 7 minus 3 square root of 7. 8 square root of 7. Since these three are like terms, because they have the same radicand 7, same index also. So we'll just add or subtract the coefficient. 6 plus 5, 11. 11 minus 3 is 8. 8 square root of 7. Then annex the radical, common radical. So in adding or subtracting radicals, it's just the same as it's just the same as in adding or subtracting like terms in algebra. Another 5 square root of 6 plus 3 square root of 7 plus 4 square root of 7 minus 2 square root of 6. So let us group the similar radicals. 5 square root of 6 and negative 2 square root of 6 are similar, so subtract. Ang answer na yan is 3 square root of 6, then another similar, 3 square root of 7 and 4 square root of 7. So add 3 plus 4, 7 square root of 7. So the answer is, yan, we first subtract this, followed by adding the green. So the answer is from the pink, 3 square root of 6, from the green, 3 plus 4, 7 square root of 7. Okay, now let's simplify each expression, simplify each radical first and then combine. How about this? So seemingly they are not like radicals, so we cannot just add or subtract the coefficients. But what if we're going to simplify square root of 50 first by thinking of perfect square factor and other factor? So for square root of 50, ito na, 25 times 2. Yung 32, 16 times 2. What is the square root of 25? 5. Multiply mo ngayon siya sa 2. What is the square root of 16? 4. Multiply mo sa 3. 2 times 5, 10 square root of 2 minus 3 times 4, 12 square root of 2. So they have become like radicals now. By simplifying square root of 50 and square root of 32, naging like radicals na sila. 10 square root of 2 minus 12 square root of 2, same radicand, same index. So we can now subtract 10 and 12. 10 minus 12 is negative 2 square root of 2. Final answer. Okay, next, simplify each expression. 3 square root of 27 plus 5 square root of 48. So they are not like radicals, but what if we're going to factor 27, 48 inside the radical sign? 9 for 27, 9 times 3, so that's equal to 3 square root of 3. 48, 16 times 3, so it's equal to 4 square root of 3. 3 multiplied to 3 is 9, 5 times 4 is 20. So they have the same radicand now and the same index, so we can now just add the coefficients. 9 plus 20 is 29. So the answer is 29 square root of 3, the sum of this. 3 square root of 27 plus 5 square root of 48. Okay, let us simplify. Okay, it's your turn. What do you think is the answer for number 1? Okay, orally, what do you think is the answer? 3 square root of 2 is correct. How about this? 2 square root of 288. Very good. The answer is, ano kasi yan? Factor mo, 144 times 2. Square root of 144 is 12. So the answer is 12 square root of 2. So how about square root of 75? 25 times 3, right? So the answer is 5 square root of 3. How about 24? Square root of 4 times 6. So the answer is 2 square root of 6. 72, 36 times 2, or 6 square root of 2. Okay, let us simplify each expression. 6 square root of 5 plus square root of 6 minus 3 square root of 6. So we just subtract the coefficients of this because they are like radicals. So the answer is 2 square root of 6 plus 6 square root of 5. That is now the answer because you cannot be able to add unlike radicals. Dito naman, okay, 54, 24. So make them like radicals by factoring 24. That's 4 times 6. Ito naman, 9 times 6. So if this is 4 times 6, square root of 4 is 2. So time 3, magiging 3 times 2, 6. 6 square root of 6 plus 7 times square root of 9 is 3. 7 times 3, 21. 21 square root of 6. So 21 times 21 plus 6, 27 square root of 6. How about this? Yung 8, 4 times 2. So 2 square root of 2 multiply sa 2 is 4 square root of 2. Ito naman, 16 times 2. Square root of 16 is 4 times 7, 28. So, 4 minus 28 is negative 24 square root of 2. Alright. Okay, it's your turn to answer the following. For 6 square root of 5 plus 5 square root of 20, what do you think is the answer? First, factor 20, which is 4 times 5. Square root of 4 is 2 times 5 is 10. So 6 plus 10 is 16 square root of 5. Ito naman, square root of 18 is 3 square root of 2 kasi 9 times 2 yan. Ito naman, 16 times 2, 4 times 7, 28. 28 plus 3, 31 square root of 2. O ito, 28, 4 square root of 7. So, yung square root of 4 is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 square root of 7, yan. So, 4 minus 1, 3. Ito naman, 63 is 9 times 6. Ay, sorry, 9 times 7. Square root of 9 is 3 times 6, 18. So, ano to? 4 minus 1, 3. 3 plus 18, 21. 21 square root of 7. Yan na yung answer. Okay, listen. Let us now proceed to the next. We're now through with combining radicals, addition and subtraction. How do we multiply radicals? So to multiply radicals, multiply the coefficients and then multiply the radicands and then simplify the remaining radicals. Example, square root of 45 times square root of 35. So since they have the same index, we'll just multiply the radicands. 5 times 35 is square root of 175. But 175 can be factored. 25 times 7. The answer is 5 square root of 7. Another, how about this? 2 square root of 8 times 3 square root of 7. Okay, first we multiply the coefficients. 6. Tapos square root of 8 times 7, 56. But we can still factor 56. 4 times 14. Square root of 4 is 2 times 6, 12. 12 square root of 14 is the answer. Yan yung answer, final answer. Another, how about this? 2 square root of 5 times 4 square root of 20. Square root of 20 is 4 times 5. So square root of 4 is 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 times 8, 16 square root of ito, 5 square root of 25, which is 5. So 16 times 5, 80. Maging 80 na. Okay, 80. Or you can multiply ano, 8 times square root of 100. Oh, pwede rin yun. 8 square root of 100. But square root of 100 is 10. So 10 times 8 is 80. 80 is the answer. No, 80 for number 3. 8 times 10 because square root of 100 is 10. Okay, how do we square root of 5? The answer is 5. Or simply, since the power is 2, I mean the exponent is 2, excuse me, and the index is 2, so we can cancel it. So it's simply the answer is 5. Okay, same is true with square root of 7 squared. The answer is 7. Okay. Square root of 7 times square root of 7 means square root of 49. Square root of 49 is 7. Or simply, we just cancel the index and the exponent. So, the answer is 7. The answer is square root of 8 times square root of 8. Square root of 64 is 8. Square root of x, quantity squared, is square root of x times square root of x. Square root of x squared, the answer is x. Or just simply take away the index and the exponent, as well as the radical sign x. Okay, that's how we multiply. How about divide? Divide radicals, divide the coefficients, divide the radicands if possible, and rationalize the denominator so that no radical remains in the denominator. What is square root of 56 divided by square root of 7? That means we just divide, because they have the same index. Just divide 56 by 7, which is square root of 8. And square root of 8 is 4 times 2. 4 times 2. But square root of 4 is 2, so 2 square root of 2 is the answer. So that was easy. That was easy. How about this? Square root of 6 divided by 7. Square root of 7. So this cannot be divided, which leaves the radical in the denominator. We do not leave radicals in the denominator, so what we're going to do is rationalize by multiplying the fraction by something, so we can eliminate the radical in the denominator. So since we cannot simplify this anymore, square root of 6 over 7 na yan, and we're going to, says here, we do not leave radicals in the denominator, so we're going to rationalize by multiplying the fraction by something. What is that something? Dapat 1 ang i-multiply mo dyan so that it does not change this. So what will you multiply is also square root of 7 over square root of 7, which is also equal to 1. If you multiply this by 1, it's still this, the number multiplied the number 1 multiplied to a number is still the number. So from multiplication, process of multiplication, we can now multiply 6 by 7. Square root of 42 over square root of 49, 7 times 7. But square root of 49 is 7, so we have 7. Square root of 42 is, okay, 42 cannot be simplified, so we are finished. 42 hindi natin masimplify yan kasi 21 times 2, ano ba yung mga factors yan? So 14 times 3. Okay, yun na yung answer. Square root of 42 over 7. Another, let us rationalize this. So we do not leave radicals in the denominator, so we need to rationalize. First, we're going to get the lowest term of 5 over 10. Kasi ang ibig sabihin nito, square root of 5 over 10, but 5 over 10 is 1 up. So square root of 1 over square root of 2. So since still merong radical sa denominator, rationalize natin by multiplying the equation by multiplying this by square root of 2 over square root of 2. Square root of 2 over 2 is the answer. Kasi sa denominator, square root of 2 times 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. How about this? We have a radical in the denominator. Okay, what will we multiply to 12 so that we can eliminate it? 3. Bakit 3? Kasi pag 3 yung minultiply mo, magiging 36 na yan. And there is a square root of 6. 36, which is 6. If you multiply this to 24 lang. Walang radical, walang yes, answer. Ano bang ibig sabihin? Kapag 2 over 2 minultiply natin, 24, maging 24, wala naman siyang square root, the perfect square. Perfect square, square root. So 3 times square root of 3, we have 3 square root of 3. 12 times 3, square root of 36. So the answer is 3 square root of 3 over 6. But still, we can simplify 3 over 6. That's 1 half. So the final answer is square root of 3 over 2. So remember, always reduce your answer to lowest term when we are speaking about fraction. Next, simplify square root of x squared. X square root of y to the 6, y cubed. Square root of p to the 4th, x to the 6, y squared. P squared, x cubed, y. Just divide the exponent by 2, the index. About number 4, 2x squared y. Number 5, 5c to the 4th, d to the 5. How about square root of x cubed? First, we factor x squared times x. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of x, that's the answer. Pag add number yung exponent, y to the 5th, factor mo y to the 4th, y. Square root of y to the 4th is y squared, square root of y. Wala nang factor yung y. So that's the end of our lesson on radicals. So comprises of simplifying radicals, adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing radicals. So I'll see you again next time. Alright. Our next lesson will be solving rational equations. So goodbye class. See you next time.